Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump, law, and what didn't happen on the 20th. We're going to talk about something that caused people a lot of anxiety over the last month or so, how you can avoid being nervous about it in the future, and why we didn't really talk about it. I mean, I answered some questions about it in the comments, but it didn't get its own video. If you didn't know, something really groundbreaking was supposed to happen on the 20th of April. If it had occurred, it would be the only thing people were talking about right now. And since many of you, I'm assuming, have no idea what I'm talking about, it's safe to assume it didn't happen. So what was it? There was a pretty widespread belief that Trump was going to enact coast-to-coast martial law on the 20th. If you believed it, don't feel bad. I saw people who I know are well-intended and well-informed getting a little nervous about it and feeding into it a bit. This won't be the last martial law scare that occurs. I'm sure more will be coming, and I'm going to give you some information that will help you avoid getting nervous in the future. First, we don't have the troops. To enact what most people think of when they hear the term martial law, we literally do not have the troops. Even if we used every troop in the military. The U.S. is huge, different types of terrain, climate, and so on. It would be an absolutely massive undertaking. We don't have the numbers. Second, and this might be the important part, since I doubt anybody is trusting this administration's ability to do math and realize we don't have the troops, it wouldn't be a surprise. Something that those who weren't in the military may not know is that when you're in, you don't have all of your equipment. It's in storage. Before deployment, you have to go draw your equipment. If you had hundreds of thousands of troops being spun up to operate in all the various terrains the U.S. has, it would make the news. Even more of a sign would be the National Guard call-ups. To get even close to the number of troops necessary, you'd have to call up the National Guard and the Reserve. All of them. That takes time, and during that time, it would make the news. They might be able to do a small area by surprise, but even that's unlikely, because it would still make the news. And here's a third bit of information. This whole thing came about because Trump asked for a report on whether to use the Insurrection Act. The Insurrection Act doesn't actually institute real martial law. In extreme circumstances, it allows the military to enforce civilian law. Those are very, very, very different things. Honestly, and maybe it's just because I've dealt with military policing before, but that really isn't that scary to me. When's the last time you saw military police body cam footage on the news? Military cops operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in this country. But most people don't know it because they tend to follow the use of force guidance way better than normal cops. Why didn't we talk about it beyond the comments? Because in many ways, it unintentionally carries the talking point forward. People view it as a possibility. It makes people more accepting of it. This just happened with people trying to say Trump could run again because his terms weren't consecutive. Don't let rumor and speculation create chaos. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.